How's it going out there, YouTube land and also on social media lands? Welcome to an all-new video. This video we're going to be doing a review on a new film that just hit on April 1st and has been in the works now for over 2 years now. We were originally supposed to get it in July of 2020. We finally got this film. That's another Marvel film, or Marvel related film brought to you by Sony. So we're going to get right into that and talk about it. So before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on this video and the awesome videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, where I publish posts on a pretty daily basis, so definitely check that out too. As always, people, let's get right into this! So welcome one and all to this all new video. So like I was saying before, we're going to be reviewing a new film that just came out on April 1st. It's based on a Marvel character that we've been waiting over 2 years to get, and it finally got released. And that of course is the film known as Morbius! Yeah, Morbius! Yeah, the living vampire, Morbius. Oh yeah. So Morbius is based off of the Marvel character. This film was a co-production with Marvel and Sony Pictures, and is based on this amazing character that, you know, if you were a kid in the 90s, you loved probably the animated Spider-Man series where they had Morbius as a main character in a several episode arc. You might recognize this character from, you know, several comic books over the years and all that kind of cool stuff. But this character has finally got its live action adaptation, and it did not disappoint, I thought, in my opinions. Now, this film happens to be directed none other by a great director known as Mr. Daniel Espinosa. Yeah, Daniel Espinosa. Yeah. So Daniel Espinosa, he's directed a few other things, and is a pretty decent, you know, director, and does a pretty decent job. He has a really great eye for sci-fi and action and all that kind of cool stuff, and he brought that great eye to Morbius. Now, I thought he did a really great job overall. He gave us this very kind of interesting origin story, which has been very different from other origin story type films for either Marvel or DC, any superhero or supervillain or anti-hero type of characters. Now, with this film, I thought that he just had a great eye for, even though it being delayed so many years, and also so many different reshoots, I thought he overall did a really good job of bringing together and keeping a very coherent story. And overall, I thought he did a really fantastic job. I love the direction he took in it. I love what he did with it, and I love how he kept it very simple and kept it very on track. And overall, I thought that Daniel did a great job of directing this film. Now, another great film he directed actually came out in 2017, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Reynolds, and is just a really great sci-fi action monster type of film. And then, of course, a film called Life. Yeah, Life. Yeah. This movie is so awesome, so amazing. I really think it's loosely based on Starro, the DC character that we got to see in the Suicide Squad film, because, I swear to God, the creature in this film looked like a starfish, and, like, was, you know, wanted to eat the people and wanted to keep growing and get bigger and get smarter. And that's how I feel Starro is in the DC comics. So, I think it's a little bit of a ripoff of that. But overall, Life was a really awesome film. Great action, great CGI work, great acting by all involved, and really well directed by Daniel. And give us this really great sci-fi action flick, monster type of deal, that had this really amazing creature that just really came to life and gave us this overall really awesome story. And just, you know, was a great, like, trying to take over the world type of deal. Really well done, really well directed, and he had such a great eye for the film. If you haven't seen Life, definitely check out for Daniel's directing. He did a really good job. But like I was saying, overall, I thought Daniel did a great job with Morbius, even for how long of a film it was delayed, and how many reshoots and all that kind of stuff. I was really surprised at how well it came together for such a film, because you go back and you look at a film like New Mutants, which was delayed around the same amount of time, how much of a disheveled type of film it was, where Morbius was not, and they actually did a pretty decent job. Overall, I thought Daniel did a great job of bringing this film to life, giving this a great first live-action adaptation of Morbius as this great Marvel character who I've always enjoyed, and just I thought he did an overall great job of bringing this film. If you haven't seen anything Daniel Espinosa has directed, definitely go check out Morbius in theaters now. Worth the watch. So this movie has a great ensemble cast that's really enjoyable, really awesome, and all bring such great different aspects to this film. Now, to start us off on this amazing cast is none other than Mr. Morbius himself, Mr. Jared Leto! Oh yeah, Jared Leto, woo! Jared Leto, woo! Yeah! Oh, Jared Leto never disappoints. He's always so good in everything he does. He's just so amazing, from Fight Club to Prefontaine to his, take in Dallas Buyers Club, to Mr. Nobody, so many different films, My So-Called Life. He just is an awesome actor who has done pretty much everything from being the lead singer in his band 30 Seconds to Mars. He just always brings and delivers such great performances. Now, he is just such a great actor. He was a great choice for Morbius. I thought he did a great job. I really enjoyed his take on who Morbius is. I really enjoyed his take on how a person would have to deal with such a consequence of this, superhuman abilities and this, basically, going from being deathly in almost dying to being this, bloodthirsty creature. What he developed as the character, he did so well. Just like what he does with any other film, he really encompassed it and gave us this really great performance. And I really enjoyed him. I thought he did a great job, and he looked the part too, I thought. Now, another great film he was in that I think is such an amazing film that he was in, that he played such a great, amazing character, and he was just so fun, was the film known as The House of Gucci. Yeah, The House of Gucci. Yeah, him as Pablo, he was so freaking amazing. He was so hilarious, so unrecognizable, but overall he did such a great performance and just delved into that character and just gave us this really great, impression of who this person was. And I feel he did the same thing with his Morbius character. And overall, he really just brought such a great characterization to Pablo's character and gave us this, his kind of rendition of who he was, Mr. Pablo Gucci. And overall, I just thought he was probably one of the best parts of that movie. And overall, just did a great job. If you haven't seen House of Gucci, definitely check it out for Jared Leto's performance. He was really fantastic in it. But overall, I really enjoyed him as Morbius. I really enjoyed him in Morbius, and I thought that he did overall just a really fantastic job. And he brought this movie together very well and gave us an overall great first impression of a live-action adaptation of Mr. Morbius. Definitely check it out if you're a huge Jared Leto fan. Worth the watch. So that brings me to the next actor I'd like to talk about that was in this film. And that is none other than kind of the main protagonist, the main bad guy in this film, Mr. Matt Smith! Oh yeah, Matt Smith! Woo! Matt Smith! Yeah! Of course, Matt Smith is very widely known as one of the doctors in the Doctor Who series. He was a huge fan, fan favorite of, Doctor Who fans. And it's just overall a really amazing English actor. And pretty much anything he's ever in, he does a really good job. Now, overall, I really enjoyed him in Morbius. I liked his take on the character. I liked the relationship he had with Jared Leto's Morbius, and I just overall liked just what he brought to the character and gave us this kind of, what a person would be like or do, if they're basically dying, they're always in pain, and then all of a sudden they have this ultimate, power that makes them feel alive and all this stuff and kind of go into your head. And he performed that so well and gave us such a great outing as this villain. He was really good in it, I thought. And I think he did an overall good job. Now, another movie he was in that I really enjoyed and thought he did a good job in was a great film that just came out last year, or the year before, either or. Did just see it beginning of last year, if I remember correctly. It's an overall really great psychological thriller film, and also Diana Rigg's final film before she passed away in 2020. And that, of course, is the film called Last Night in Soho. Yeah, Last Night in Soho. Oh my god, this movie is so freaking amazing. Edgar Wright directed the crap out of this film, but Matt Smith's characterization in the film and character was so awesome. I really enjoyed him as kind of like, once again, another villain character, and I thought he brought such a great richness to the character and worked really well with everyone in the film. And overall, he just did a great job of being this like villain character that you really despise and really hate, and you kind of don't understand, but you also understand at the same time, and he just did a really good job of bringing that to life. If you haven't seen Last Night in Soho, definitely check out for Matt Smith's performance. He was really good in it. But overall, I really enjoyed Matt Smith in this film. I thought he was a great addition to the film. I thought he was a great asset, and I thought he worked really well as the main villain in the film. And I just thought him and everyone in the film worked really well together. It was really enjoyable. If you haven't seen Matt Smith in anything, definitely check out Morbius. He was really good in it. So that brings me to the final actress I like to talk about that was in the film. And that is none of the main love interest of Morbius in the film. Miss Adria Adorn! Oh yeah! Adria Adorn! Yeah! Adria! Wow! She is really actually a really decent actress. I was really surprised by her. I really didn't remember seeing her in anything, and I've actually seen her in something else. And I didn't really remember her performance until I rewatched the film. But her and Morbius did a really good job. I really enjoyed her character. I liked her love interest character. I liked what she brought to the character and her relation between her and Michael Morbius. And just overall, I thought that she did a really decent job and gave us this really great performance. And just was a really enjoyable and a great addition to this film. Now, the other film that she was in, actually, is a Ryan Reynolds film that was direct to Netflix and directed by Michael Bay, called Six Underground. Yeah, Six Underground. Yeah. This movie is an action-packed, awesome, kind of heist, good guys in disguise, saving the world type of deal, and overall had a really great ensemble cast. I mean, from Ryan Reynolds himself to James Franco's brother, Dave Franco, and then just this great ensemble cast. And Adria Adorn was in it, and she actually plays one of the characters in that group of the Six Underground. And I forgot how awesome she was in that film, and how fun she was, and just how extremely amazingly gorgeous she was too at the same time. But she really brought a great realness to that character, and was really awesome and action-packed and kicked some butt in that film. And she kind of did that in Morbius too as well, but I thought she definitely had more of action sequences in Six Underground. But overall, she did a great job in Six Underground, and I thought she worked well with everyone. And overall, I thought she just gave a really fantastic performance. If you haven't seen Six Underground, definitely check it out for Adria's performance in it. She actually did a really decent job. But overall, I really enjoyed her in Morbius. Like I said, I thought she did a great job as a love interest, as a co-lead, as this really amazing character that I'm not sure if she's a part of the comics. I'm not too familiar with the comics, but I do believe she is in the comics, that character. And I thought that she brought it to life very well and did a great job, and I thought she worked really well with Jared and with Matt and with the other Jared and stuff like that. I thought they all worked really well and encompassed a really great performance altogether in this film, and I thought she just did an overall decent job. If you haven't seen Adria in anything, definitely check her out on Morbius. She was worth the watch, and she did an amazing job. Just a couple honorable mentions of also other great actors that were in this film, such as Jared Harris, the son of the great late amazing Mr. Harris himself, that played the first original Dumbledore, who was an amazing actor. Jared Harris is an amazing actor too. He's done some great films, and he was a really great addition to this film. Also, Tyrese Gibson was really great in this film. Really enjoyed him. Thought he did a great job too as well. If you're a fan of either of these actors, Tyrese Gibson or Jared Harris, definitely check them out in this film. They were really fantastic, and they just were really enjoyable. Great additions to the film as well. So what is Morbius about? Basically, the premise of Morbius is it's the origin story of Michael Morbius, who is very deathly ill with a disease that he's had since he was a child. And he's basically trying to find a cure for it so that he can live a normal life. And while trying to do this, he comes upon this kind of experimental procedure that involves bats that ends up turning him into a living bat, basically, a living vampire. And basically the rest of the film is about him kind of dealing with his Metamorphosis dealing with his craving for blood and having to deal with somebody else that's having the same problem and saving, the city from this person. Overall, a great origin story. Overall, just a really well done film. I thought it was a lot better than what everyone was saying. I was really surprised at how good it was, how coherent it was for being such a delayed film. And overall, I thought that it was so good and so much fun. I give this one a giant 10 Golden Movie Boxes up. I think it's a great film, really enjoyable. Overall, a great just a new addition to the Marvel Universe. And also, I think Jared Leto is going to be amazing as Morbius in the years to come. And I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out now. Theaters, worth a watch. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, also thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been before, don't forget to check out any old or new videos you've not seen by yet. As always, people, if you want to show support for the channel, definitely check out my links down below. Either from my Patreon page, where you can become a patron of my channel and get all these kind of cool exclusive shout-outs, says on what I do next, all that kind of cool stuff. So definitely check that out, people. And as always, if you enjoy horror films, definitely check out the horror pack link down below, where you can get great horror films to your door every month for a great low price. So definitely check that out. And like I said in other videos, I'm doing my first ever giveaway, where I'm giving out 3 digital copies of films. So all you gotta do, like I said, is 1, be a subscriber, show that you're a subscriber and stay a subscriber. 2, comment on a recent video saying giveaway Cybernetic Oh yeah. And 3, you gotta share, people. Gotta share. Oh yeah. So if you do those 3 things, you are entered into the contest. So definitely do that, people. As always, catch you in the next one.